Hi everybody, we are with Amanda Krause with Grassroots Aid Partnership, and Amanda's one of the people that has put together a lot of what's going on here in the little enclave that we were showing you earlier. So she's been gracious enough to let us ask her a few questions, and we're going to get some great information. So how did you guys get started doing this, and what was the idea in the beginning? Because I know it was such an unexpected disaster that happened. How did you guys decide we're going to move here and try to help the community?
Well, we actually live here, and we've been doing disaster relief now since we did our Immokalee deployment from the Hurricane Irma, and that was back in 2019 or 2017. COVID was 2019, and so yeah, we have all this event production gear because we do the Dr. Bronner's All-in Magic Foam experience, and so we're able to take our event production gear and apply it to all of our off-grid living resources that we have, and apply them to situations like this where the grid is frazzled and zapped and needs to get rebooted. So we have the possibility to bring showers and potable water to people, and of course hot, healthy meals. And so far we've served over 35,000 hot meals in Western North Carolina. And we started scouting right away as soon as we could, because thankfully all of our stuff was spared. Our warehouse was spared, even though it was across the street from a flooded Ingalls distribution warehouse. And we were really thankful that all of our equipment was spared, so that we were able to get into service right away and just start connecting with community members and finding resources to be able to reallocate them as best we could with what we have going on.
You're doing a magnificent job, and I was so glad when we were sitting here that the potable water truck backed up and we were able to get a picture. I wasn't able to film it, but I was able to get a picture of it, because when we were walking down and I saw the big tank for water, I'm like, oh wow, I know there's no running water here for a long time, and now there's still no drinkable water or anything, and I don't think any of these places have running water right now, do they?
We do have running water, but it's more for things like flushing the toilet. I wash my hands with it, and it dries your hands out immediately. I'm like, I need lotion, because it's a lot of chlorine, so that will dry your skin out, and it's not something you want to brush your teeth with or make. They say there's a boil order, but we're really using a lot of fresh water to cook with and stuff like that.
Because I know I am not highly educated about particulates in water and everything, but I am like you. If there's a boil order and there's aluminum and stuff that they're putting in the water to try to coagulate the solids, I'm not so sure I want to drink that, So I think it's amazing that the community is able to do this, and that you're able to provide something for people that live here, and just give them a sense of normalcy with watching the children play. And it's so nice that somebody brought the playground for them, and they can get out of their house and get away from the sadness and this has got to be cleaned up, and now it's got to be cleaned up, and just come out here and be kids. And so we were watching the food lines moving and all the free food just being given out, and watching the ice cream truck that's come up here and giving out ice cream to people. And it's just a beautiful thing to see the community coming together. And we're just trying to figure out what you guys need. So we want to bring what you need and not what we think you need.
And it changes every week, day by day. And so what we're hoping for, I've been talking to some people who have maybe more feel in this realm, but we need an app that everyone can get on the app and say, what's good in Western North Carolina app? I don't know. Throwing out a name.
A great idea.
So everyone can actually live say, I've got this covered. I've got it covered in one place that everybody can get on. And maybe that takes getting all the billboards together and say, everybody download the app so you can help your neighbors out.
That's a great idea. Do you have any idea of anyone or know of anyone that could actually build the app?
So all of these things are in the works, and I actually do, but it's like a matter of putting out all the small fires as they come up, and then having the bigger goal in mind as well, and holding both candles, but taking time to be able to make sure no one else is already doing it, and put the idea out, and then get it.
When you guys get it up and running, if you'll let us know, we'll put the word out too, because that was what we were dealing with. We've got a friend that has made 3 trips up here with a 24-foot trailer full of stuff, and we were responding to what the needs were that we were seeing on Facebook or social media. And you know, we did have a lot in the beginning that was helpful. We brought up pallets of water and heaters and dehumidifiers and all of that. You're so welcome. But you know, now I know that, and we brought up a bunch of clothes at the time, and now they don't need clothes right now because they're caught up with that. But now they're needing things for like winter camping for the people that are in the tent. So we're looking at sleeping bags and blankets and all that, which we did bring on this trip. But I know that there's going to be more need for that.
I know what we really need that I haven't seen it brought up that much yet, is submersible heaters for all of the totes that are going around that are bringing people water, but we need to make sure they don't freeze. So keeping those things powered, and then finding out who's on generator power but wants a battery backup, because we have access to the backup batteries, but we want to make sure that they go to people with generators so they're not always having to run their generator, charge your battery, use the power, and just working on how to connect everybody and being smart about how we save energy and utilize those things together.
Well, we will definitely check into that. We have a corporation, well, it's not a corporation, it's an organization, I should say. It's called Helping Hands for Christ. And so we're trying to get the word out to our donors that what is really happening, where the truth is right now. We're trying to get shots of how much devastation there still is to be cleaned up. And I don't think people have any idea the amount of devastation that's taken place and the destruction that people are dealing with. And
it's going to be years of rebuilding.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Antoine was telling me yesterday when we were looking around, and he goes, and everything you see here that is destroyed, they've been cleaning it up for a month. And I mean, we're seeing 18-wheelers turned over, and vans buried in mud, and cars turned over, and trailers, and it's just, the destruction is unbelievable. And so I know it's going to take a long time, and that's what we're trying to do, is get funding to help people find housing and the things that you guys need. And so I just really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk to us, so we can hear from you guys exactly what you need, and we can try to put some of that stuff in motion.
Let's keep connecting the dots and getting the resources to people who need it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, hon. And we just want you to know God hasn't forgotten you, and we haven't either, and we won't.
I feel the love, and so does this community.
Good, good. Well, we appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, this is Chris, and Chris is in, what is the name of the kitchen here?
We work for Grassroots Aid.
Grassroots Aid. Okay, and tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing here and how you're making it work for the community.
So we're a disaster relief organization. We're here in Swannanoa, North Carolina. We're feeding people that have lost their homes and floods, lower income, lower income communities, and also anyone who really needs it.
And we noticed while we were sitting outside that the tanker came up with potable water.
Yeah.
So are all of the kitchens that are running here on the little street running off of the potable water that they're bringing in, because nobody's got any running water right now, correct?
Yeah. Well, we do have running water, but it's not clean.
It's not potable.
But we're using this potable water. So.
Gotcha. So can we kind of take a look around at your operation here?
Of course,
and see? So is the food and stuff that's here, volunteers bringing this in, or are you guys having to purchase this yourself?
The food has so far been all donated.
Awesome.
I mean, we do have money to purchase, but we haven't had to.
That's awesome.
Because the community.
And how many people do you think you're feeding every day?
Well, our kitchen feeds somewhere between 400 to 700 people a day.
That's amazing.
And we have more. And then this kitchen, we're all collectives, and then this kitchen sort of is feeding a lot more. They do the walk-ups more than we do deliveries.
So, can we walk back towards that area? I don't want to get in anybody's way.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, we have this farm.
Oh, wow.
This farm, Clem's Organic Garden. It's like a local farm. They donate all these carrots and all these amazing organic parsnips.
That's
really
awesome. And so all of these shelves for just donated food. This is all fresh produce here.
Yeah, it's all fresh produce, you know, spaghetti squash. It's all real seasonal too.
Wow.
A lot of the end of the bell peppers.
Local, seasonal, and organic. You can't beat it, huh?
Generally, yeah. Yeah, we try. I mean, that's important to me, you know. as a
And
chef.
so I'm noticing this area right here.
Yeah.
So what was this place before here? Was it a restaurant?
So
coffee
this
house,
is
or-
called One Pretzels. It's a pretzel kitchen, and I think he
Okay.
also had a bar here, and I think he also had sort of a community bar.
So this right here where they're running the operation was like a local little pub bar type deal?
And pretzels.
With pretzels?
The pretzels is the big thing.
Okay, so that's why we're seeing all of the
Yeah, we
cooking
can go look
racks
at the pretzels
there.
back here.
Okay.
You can still look at it. It's One Pretzels. Eddie is a German man.
Are they online?
They are online, yeah, and I think they do a lot of business online.
Is it blockpretzels.com?
I'm not sure the website, but if you Google One Pretzels, it's the first
Okay.
thing that comes up.
I'll Google it and I'll let my viewers know.
Yeah, and see, he's got these little pretzels, and he makes these pretzel knots, and they're all. That's his
It's
business.
amazing.
Yeah.
This is quite a imaginative and really productive area that you guys have got going on here. And I'm noticing, are the lights, do y'all have electricity here? Are you running off the generator, or what's happening with the power? Okay, awesome. Okay. Well, one thing that we're doing while we're filming all of this is we're asking people, what is your immediate need? Like, we want to bring you guys, what is this that you're taking
These
out
are
here?
venison quesadillas.
Venison quesadillas.
Yeah.
Wow, are they delicious?
Yeah, they're delicious. Someone made them. He told me to try them. It's like there's even pizza here.
Hey, man.
All kinds of things.
All kinds of goodies. So, Chris, when we came up here, we brought some supplies that we were told, we're good, I'm not going to fall and break anything, that we were told that were needed up here, and they have been needed, but I also am hearing that needs are kind of changing, because you guys have kind of moved into cleanup mode and now trying to find shelter and things for people, because I understand that a lot of the people that are here are living in tents and stuff still, and campers and all of that. So do you know, as a resident here, what is something that is an immediate need that people that are trying to help could bring and deliver to you guys?
Yeah, I feel like people need compassion. They need sensitivity. A lot of these people are living, you know, it seems like they're going to be living in tents for the winter, which is, you know, really challenging.
Yes. Well,
They might need help support, like going south for the winter. That would be amazing.
well, I'll tell you that one of our goals as our nonprofit that we're working on is buying people campers and donating it to them.
That would be
And
helpful.
we're not a large organization yet, but we are working on trying to get one person at a time or one family at a time shelter. So we are working on that, and we just want y'all to know that we haven't forgotten y'all, and we're not gonna forget you, you know. And so if there's anything we can do, if y'all reach out to us and let us know, we'll do whatever we can to be helpful, you know. But you guys are just doing an amazing job right now with what you've got available to work with. And I think it's so cool that you're out here feeding people for free.
Yeah.
400 to 700 people a day, that's amazing, you know.
Yeah, well, and it's
So-
even more with this kitchen. This kitchen is doing a lot more
Yeah.
than us, and they're associated more with the World Central Kitchen. But,
I gotcha.
you know,
Well, thank
eventually
you.
the World Central Kitchen is planning on
Eventually what?
the World Central Kitchen's planning on going away.
Yes.
And then, you know, we'll
Yeah.
still do it. We'll still be trying to do this.
Yes.
If they want to. So, you know, we're still partners with them. So,
That's amazing. Well, thank you for giving us your time, and thank you for sharing with us, and we're going to work and do whatever we can to help you guys.
yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. And tell me how to pronounce your name.
Aslan,
Aslan.
like the Chronicles of Narnia, like Aslan, you know, like if you know that story at all.
And are you, I don't, but we more on it because I've heard a lot of people talking about it. Are you the person that created the Grassroots partnership?
No, I was actually one of them. It was like I am a co-founder. There's been multiple different carnations of relief groups that have been happening. I've been personally doing it since Katrina, like Ike, Superstorm Sandy, Rita, Gustav, Harvey, Michael, Florence. I went to a number of these doing. We just basically came out with pots and tents, and you know what I mean, just started cooking people because we know how to do that, cook for masses. And then we had one of our biggest donors was a company called and still is, and mostly in goods, like is Organic Valley, the milk, cheese, and dairy company out of Wisconsin. It's an amazing cooperative in Wisconsin, and so they were just basically just giving to us, and then the need, like sending tractor trailer trucks full of like good food and that we could cook. And then, but then it became more important that they needed, like, you know, the tax exempt and tax write-off type things. And so we started our first nonprofit a long time ago. It was called ARG, the American Rainbow Rapid Response. And then that lasted for a little while. And then I joined the board of another nonprofit called United Peace Relief out of Florida. And so we could basically be able to offer these things and take in-kind donations and monetary donations. And so then, I think it was in Hurricane Michael and Hurricane Florence, we joined forces with another organization that's based with Dr. Bronner's, the soap company, and all these other folks, and we just all kind of came together and created the Grassroots Aid Partnership, filling in the gap, basically. And so that's what we've been doing, because there's a lot of like underprivileged housings, or you know, like minority neighborhoods, or you know, the elderly communities, or like, you know, really rural areas. I've seen with all my years of experience was not getting the needs and the things that they needed.
Right.
You know, big cities would get it first, and you know, then like, you know, high income places. I mean, I can see it just like down the street from where I live, for example. I won't drop names, but you know, they had their power on pretty darn soon, and they had huge tree lot guys out there all the time and doing it. But people came in from to really big up all of the linemen and all the people that came here to help us getting our power restored. I mean, there was hundreds of these guys from all over the country came in to help us, and we've actually have been getting a lot of aid on different levels from different folks around the country. And FEMA is supposed to be a network that bridges all the different organizations, all the different churches, the grassroots organizations, the local and federal organizations, and they're just really supposed to bring them all together to round table. And so they got, you know, FEMA got a really bad rap at Katrina, and I have noticed them try to step up their game more, in all honesty, since then. So I'm not going to badmouth what they are doing, but this need is so vast. There's no way that they can touch everybody.
Right.
Like you brought up earlier in our conversation, like some of these people can't get off the mountain to come and talk to FEMA.
Right.
And they wouldn't even know how. They don't have internet or computers or all these things to fill out all these apps and all this stuff. And like a dear friend of mine, her house got really, really messed up, and they offered her $7,000. It's like $40,000 at least it's going to take to fix her home. She's a single mother. She's got small children. So it's again filling in, and this woman was out feeding. This woman was feeding out of her restaurant from day one. Day one she was feeding.
And I've heard stories too about people that have not been able to get some help because part of what got washed away in the flood was all their ID and all their paperwork.
That's right.
So we're, you know, trying to figure out how we can be helpful with that situation too. And I don't know what we're going to be able to do, but we're working with people to try to figure all that out. And so I just really wanted to kind of showcase you guys, because you've been here, boots on the ground from day one, feeding everybody and pulling in trailers and getting things set up so that you can take care of the community. And so we just wanted to, you know, it's Grassroots Aid Partnership.
That's right.
And we'll put your information on the video.
Awesome.
And we will, like I said, we've got a QR code we're setting up for the Helping Hands for Christ.
Yeah.
So we're going to start getting donations, and we're going to stay in touch with you guys, find out what you need, and we're going to try to rapid source for y'all instead of trying to load trucks and things up, because I know that some of the roads have opened up now.
They have.
Even though I know the one that we went on yesterday is down to one lane, and everybody's got to kind of, you know, juggernaut to get through there. But now that y'all have access to get in some things in and out, we want to try to send funding and maybe order things, because I noticed when we were down here that there was an Amazon truck down here, and I was like, oh, Amazon can get through now? And they were like, yeah, they just got to where they can get through easily, and even when things were really bad, they were kind of, letting Amazon try to get through, and from what I understand, the Amazon warehouse in South Carolina was a disaster just because there was such an influx of things people were trying to order to get to their families. I did it too.
Yeah.
And
They're like back ordered.
Yes.
From what I've been told, that they're like several weeks back ordered for a lot of things.
yes.
With Grassroots, a partnership. I don't know if Amanda told you this, but we're from here. Like
She did tell me.
We live here, and so that's how we were able to actually respond. Like I said, we're used to going down to like Mississippi or Florida or the Gulf Coast or something, but we happen to be here, and through the grace of the Almighty, like our warehouse didn't flood.
So
we were able to. I mean, it took me a couple days to cut my way out of my thing and my road and whatever. So it's and they were already starting to set up when all that happened because the warehouse was spared. So it's about friends helping friends, like people helping people, and we also try to like be really upful, like it's because people are like without all these things, so like we kind of try to create a little scene, like a little place where people can relax and maybe sit down or tell their story, or not just like robots, like here's your food, see you later, here's your food, see you later. Where we were in West Asheville, we were focusing on elderly communities and low-income housing, and we would have musicians, just like you hear now, like just musicians in the background, and we had a person that would ask everyone's name and then say their name again when the food was ready, just like something more personable. We did that for like 3 weeks down there, and then we reassessed, and we always partner up with a different like restaurant, like Blunt Pretzels. These guys were already feeding when we came over here and moved in with them.
Yeah.
They were already doing their thing because Swannanoa was hit really, really hard. And so it's just, Asheville's super resilient. And I've actually heard from secondhand sources, then they were talking to FEMA directors and EOC, which is emergency management, that they had never seen a community step up as much as the Western North Carolina mountains. I mean, you got the mountain folks mixed with the eclectic artist communities, and like all of the isms and schisms just got put away. The political differences, like your, race, color, creed, religious status, all that stuff. And I've seen that before in the past, but like Asheville's very eclectic. And you had good old boys hanging out right next to like punk rock people, hanging out right next to the hippie people, and everyone just doing the thing.
Right.
And that's you said you wanted to talk about uplifting things. It's unfortunate it takes a disaster to do that, but when people don't have these basic necessities, it's like there was some violent things that happened in the very beginning. People panic, they get scared. There was some looting and some like things like that. But like overall, people have been really bonding together here, and a lot of us are really tired. Like getting the R&R that we need and getting the rest that we need. And
I was talking to a lineman that was down there getting fed, and he was telling us he hadn't had a day off since it started. And I can't even imagine that, doing that hard work, and then not even being able to get a day of rest in between. But when I said something to him, I'm like, well, when are you going to rest? He's like, I'm getting rest at night, and he goes, we got a job to do. We got to get these people back, And so it's just really nice to see that, like you say, the community's coming together. And it is horrible that sometimes it takes some kind of disaster like this, but at the same time, it's a beautiful thing to see that in the midst of disaster, that the people in the community haven't devolved into some kind of horror movie, and instead they have rediscovered their humanity and the humanity in the neighbors, who they may be polar opposites politically, religiously, or whatever, but they recognize the humanity in each other.
That's right.
And step up and try to take care of each other, and that's what we're trying to do too.
I appreciate
and
that.
We just want you to know that God hasn't forgot you. We're not going to forget you, and Georgia is going to be here until you don't need us anymore. So
I appreciate that. Yeah,
we
appreciate
appreciate
that.
everything you're doing.
We're being very fortunate with the weather right now, but winter is right around the corner,
yes.
and that's on everyone's mind. Like I do a lot of the scouting and logistical stuff for like this organization. So that means I'll just like drive out in endless roads and places, and like you basically just start looking at where the water is. And then even down on the Gulf Coast, that's what you do. You start finding where the water is, and you're going to find where the troubled areas are. And there's people like over this mountain, just right over there. Like there's this entire valley just gone. And there was, I'm out of respect for everyone, I'm not going to even speak the numbers of people that passed away, but there was a large number of folks, just all related family members that just all passed away right there.
11 is what I understand.
That's right. And we actually had the honor of being able to serve them food in between one of their funerals last Friday. and that was just, but just knowing that there's people that don't have the housing right now, they don't have the basic necessities to actually even cook their own meals. So that's been more of a focus for us now that like kind of the city's gotten dialed in and some of the low-income housing and the elderly communities are kind of getting back online. We're already feeding out, but now we're trying to feed even more out into these rural areas. But also, mountain folk have a lot of pride.
They sure do.
And that can be an amazing thing, and the resilience. But it's also can be a little bit of a challenging thing at times. Just to but once I tell them, I was like, hey, I'm local. I wasn't born here, but I've been here like 33 years. Then it drops a couple notches, But
we met a couple yesterday, and they agreed to let me interview them, and they were so adorable. But they're living in a tent because their trailer just got completely washed away, and they're living in a tent on the riverbank. And I was like, we've got sleeping bags, we've got blankets, we've got pillows, and they're like, well, we've got a mattress and we've got this, so we're good. And we're trying to it's going to get cold, and we want you to be warm. And they're kind of like, we're good, we've got everything we need. And we're sitting there going, no, you don't. You need housing, you need this, And so it's that, and I don't even think it's like haughty pride. It's just the way that Appalachian people think. Well, I've got enough for right now, you go and give it to somebody else that is in need more than me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just really amazed at that attitude, of we've got enough to survive right now, so make sure somebody else does too.
Yeah.
And so it's like you say, the Appalachian attitude.
It is.
And
resilience.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that makes the community so strong is that people don't give up.
Yeah.
And I got tickled at Raya last night when we were having dinner because she is from France and London and Miami and California, and she's been in all those places. And she's like, when I first got here, I wasn't sure what to think. And she goes, but I like these good old boys. They're around here getting things done, And it's just a beautiful thing to see for the whole community to come together. And like you said, it doesn't matter race, creed, religion, politics. And so we just want to help you any way that we can.
Yeah, and thank you. And we need it. We all need it. Like I said, housing is a big one right now. I'm curious what our local government's going to do because they were really not into tiny homes, for example, or yurts or things like that. I'm curious of what kind of amendments they're going to make for building codes and things like that. And those kind of structures. Honestly, finances are needed for these things, like investment people is needed for these things. Carpenters are needed, electricians are needed, trades people, like plumbers and figuring out how to do what, I was just meeting with someone just a minute ago that may have the potential for really amazing water technology that can purify water at really large, rapid rates.
Oh, that's awesome.
But really purify it, because a lot of the other places can just get the particulates and stuff. So these kind of things, we start to need to wrap our head around these kind of things. So
Right.
the cleaning our watersheds, the land stuff. We have to get remediations into the land and into our water systems. And it's going to be a long haul here.
Yes.
It really is. Getting people through this winter is the first priority. It's like food, clothes, shelter,
Right.
in that order. And then we can start moving on into the rebuilds and and also mental health. A lot of people are going to need help with. None of us has really stopped.
Right.
And then our below flooded, but we were out without power for 11 days. My twins and daughters were without power for 17 days. That kind of stuff. But we camp and do things like that. We made the best of it. I made a little cold box in our creek, and we didn't even do a generator. But it's the long term it still affected me. But even dealing with other people and seeing their traumas and driving out there and seeing these people's traumas and talking to these people's traumas and holding space for folks. But the people who had it, the relief workers, and more importantly, the people who actually went through these things. There can be a lot of mental and emotional support for these folks too.
Absolutely.
My mom's a clinical therapist, and she's like, you just let me know. She's like, I'm ready. She's like, I'm a phone call away, but teams of them,
Yes.
large teams of them coming around and. I've seen it time and time again. PTSD from this kind of stuff is real.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly if you lost loved ones or family members, or if you are the person listening or helping these people. it still even affect you too. So there's so many resources that are needed, but social work is a big one, big one. Housing is absolutely the biggest, I would say
Yes.
right now.
And we're working diligently to try to help you guys with that. So thank you so much
Yes,
for your
blessings to
time.
you. God bless you.
Blessings to you too. And
Thank
can I give you a hug?
Absolutely, I love hugs.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
And
you for
we will-
coming.
When we come back up in a few weeks, we'll get back in touch with you and we'll do a follow-up.
Yeah, and
Keep
let us
going
know
along.
too, like, because we are kind of getting inundated with certain things, you know,
Mhm.
and then some people just like to drop all their things because,
Yeah.
like, and then like, okay, we've got 17 million baby diapers and feminine products, like,
Right.
how about blankets or
Yeah.
heaters or
Yep, and that's why we're
stuff like
trying
that.
to get boots on the ground and find out
Yeah.
exactly what you guys need. So we
Awesome.
appreciate you letting us
Awesome.
know.
Bless you.
All right, honey.
All right.
Have a good day.
May the force be with you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, so this is just one house of many, many, many houses that has been just completely destroyed. They've had to go in and take everything out of these homes and strip the drywall down. They've lost all the furnishings, everything in these houses. And this is just one on the block. And I'll continue to show you guys some more. One right after the other.
Somebody's whole life gone in one night.
Mm-hmm.
Everything it is they had. Everything.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Just horrible. So this overturned truck. And then this house here, it just got pushed from the river, just pushed it off its foundation and totally against the ditch here. Unbelievable.
See what it did to this one.
And look at this perfect city, it is destroyed. Wow. Completely destroyed. Oh wow. I mean,
And this is after a month of cleanup.
I know, it's
You
unbelievable.
you can see the tracks from the excavators in the soil, but I mean, it's still, all of this will have to be demolished.
Yeah.
So none of this is gonna,
This little building is completely destroyed. I'm so glad that they were finally able to get the road opened up so at least people can get in and out to help now. But good grief, this is going to be years before they're able to.
yeah. And as you see, when your basic needs are food, clothing, and shelter. So people are getting foods brought in and clothing, but now with the winter that's basically here,
Shelter's the
it's
next
shelter
priority.
that's going to be,
Sorry for the sun. Wow, these poles. See, oh my gosh, that is just terrible. Look at the. Did this happen like the car's in its driveway?
yeah, so
And the stuff just came up on it?
so yeah, so this
Wow.
this was from, if you note, the river is actually 2 blocks over,
Okay.
and we'll be recording that. So the river basically came 2 blocks over here, turned all of this into a lake,
Wow.
and wiped these vehicles out. And what the water didn't get, the wind with the debris got. So if you look down here at the bottom, you can see this is all still buried in the mud. So again,
I'm just looking at all the debris coming out of people's houses. Like, it's just a random chest freezer there, you know. Wow. And there was a house there. It's not there anymore. And oh my gosh, so much destruction. Wow, these cars. Unbelievable. And even though some of these houses are standing, they're having to go in and strip them down to nothing to clean them up, right?
Yeah, and most of them, because of the structural damage, they're going to be stripped down to the foundation and rebuilt.
Wow.
You may want to just be aware of your breathing because it's still kind of, the dust is...
Yeah, you can. It's really caustic.
Yeah, there's a lot
Is
of...
this another house that just got moved off of its foundation over there? Let's see. There's somebody behind us. I'll see if I can swing the camera over. I'm sorry if I'm making y'all dizzy. Wow. So that's another house that we just completely swept off its foundation and pushed up. You can't see poles and things. Siding stripped off of it by the water. It's unbelievable level of destruction that has taken place up here in Swannanoa. And these are piles that they're making trying to clean up the debris, and they haven't been able to get anybody to pick them up yet. Wow.
And so basically the water came up into this hill right here. This is how all this kind of was a little bit higher, and that's how it got, how it basically was saved.
So this is another house that got washed up from the river. And do the X's and things that are on the house, does that mean they've been searched?
Searched or either condemned, depending on what kind of markings they have. I would say that all of this here is pretty much been condemned if you look out.
Is this where the water was down here too?
Oh yes, so
Came
you
up
can
all the
see
way?
where all this sand is, and of course if you see this big tanker right here, this big tanker beside the house.
This just floors me. I mean, it's just, nobody even knows where it came from.
No.
And then there's another container, like off of a shipping container.
Yeah.
That's just randomly
In
here.
the trees. In the trees.
Yeah, wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And all of this, of course, and if you look over here on this other side, you can see these are the...
Wow.
They're finally trying to get them like a little shed put in. Because, of course, their house here, as you can see, was just completely...
I wonder if they need any sleeping bags or anything. She looks like she's trying to have a yard sale to raise money. There's piles and piles and piles of debris that they're trying to clean up.
And so the sad thing about that is that that's just what they swept off of the streets. So, I mean, we haven't even really had time to search through those piles. It's kind of like an unspoken thing.
Right.
But you don't know what or who is in there.
Wow.
And one of the unfortunate things about this area is you can still smell death in the air. So
Yeah,
you know
the
that
odor, I don't know even how to explain
it's
to people
death.
what it smells
Yeah,
like here.
It's rotting. Again, you don't know if it's cows, horses out of somebody's field, or somebody themselves, but it's
and do you have any numbers on how many people are missing right now?
The last I heard was somewhere around, there were still hundreds of people that were reported missing, but I think there had been 200 that had been found thus far.
Wow.
So, but there's still hundreds that are missing.
So horrible.
Yeah, and I don't see her out here today. I may have to call her somebody.
Is this the lady?
Yeah,
Here
her
that needs a
daughter is getting
detergent?
ready to. Her daughter is getting ready to give.
Oh, this is the
birth.
lady. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back and leave her. She's a grandmother. Yeah.
Guys, I want to tell you about this lady. Her daughter is about to give birth, and she needs a baby seat for the car and a little infant crib. And because of what you guys have donated so far, we're going to be able to provide those things for this family. And this is, what road is this that we're on, Antoine? Because isn't this the road that's partially closed?
It is, and that area back there was called Good Loop, but
Okay.
I don't exactly, this river is the Swannanoa River, so.
And we've got people living in tents over here too.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they've got tents, a couple of campers, they brought in generators, and
Oh, the dust is unbelievable too.
yeah, so one of the things about, of course, the storm was the first wave of destruction, but now there are reports from people who have been using the faucet water and people that have been working. I guess it's kind of like the 9/11 syndrome, that people that have been working in the dust at ground zero, they
Right.
have been experiencing, and of course getting the cancers years later. But we're afraid that people are going to be dealing with the same thing down here. But you know, what can you do? I mean,
We'll hope and pray that does not happen. But I'm just like, this is just a van. The river and destruction everywhere. And the farther you drive, the more destruction you see. So this bridge is closed and they're trying to, wow, look at all the debris that is stuck on the side rails of this bridge. So this water came up over this bridge. Wow. And washed all of that out. And it's like a ladder stuck up in the tree here. And so all this, and here's more cars just,
yeah,
wow. That's just twisted metal cars. And somebody's bed sheet in a tree. Holy cow, man. That's unbelievable.
phone lines are still down.
Good grief.
Yeah,
Things hanging in the trees.
yeah.
Phone poles sideways. It's so much to take in that it's hard to even describe what you're seeing to people. This is complete and utter devastation.
What you see here, I think, what happened in one night with nature was the kind of destruction that it would have took an army a week to do. And that's what it is. It's that level of destruction.
It is, and it is. Samaritan's Purse is here doing their thing, helping people. Look at all these beautiful people that have come to help. We've got a house here, a shed that's been pushed by the river up against a tree that's on its side. And then this little street has been completely decimated. I mean, the entire street has been destroyed.
So it's kind of hard for me to understand how there would be anybody out there that would be saying that we're good here and that we have the things it is we need, because obviously
You don't.
an area like this is far from being good. like good is the last thing these people want. So whoever has said that, obviously they may be good, they may be good, but the people that, these people here, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You don't lose everything it is that you have in your home and be good 30 days later.
Exactly.
So,
and does anybody have any idea where any of these people have had to go?
So some of them have been fortunate enough to apply for hotels and motels, but that's about the extent of what's being done as far as housing. Of course, 85% of what's been done in this area has been done by the people.
Right.
So it's people like me and you bringing in supplies and being here. 10% of the equation has been done by the local authorities. Local authorities getting their crews out there to assist with the cleanup, and then probably 5% of what it is I'm seeing has been done by government organizations. And so
this is the Christian Academy here that we're coming up on.
Yeah.
And they've got damage to their bleachers and all of the stuff that's washers, dryers, cars in the ditches. I mean, all of this stuff is what the river brought in and just dumped. And it's all got to be cleaned up, and they're still looking for people that are missing, y'all. Praying, guys. I'm praying.